Okay. Good evening, students. Can you hear me? Right. Thank you. Now, we have already discussed structure is a part of this 2019 paper. Here we want to discuss about MCQ paper. Now, starting from the first question, which of the following is a hardware device that maps the virtual address to the physical address? So, if you take each answer bus, we know bus is not a things that will convert virtual to physical conversion. Bus is a set of wires that will connect memory and the CPU. So therefore, first is not the answer. The second one is a cache memory. We know this cache memory is a memory which will store kind of fast memory actually, which will store data temporarily. So data that are going to be used again and again will be used in the cache memory. So therefore, second is not the answers. Control unit, we know it is a part of the CPU. So which will control and coordinates the operation of the CPU and other devices. Therefore, that is not the one which will convert virtual physical translations. Registers, remember registers are the fastest and the smallest memory in the computer. So therefore, virtual physical translations is done by the memory management unit. So we know that this can be done in the page table. So therefore, the answer is memory management unit. So that is the one which will convert virtual address to physical address. So the first question, the answer is 4. Then the second question, which of the following represent the bitwise AND operation of the two binary numbers? Now remember, AND operation means basically multiplication. So now we want to take the each binary value. So first binary value is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Second binary value is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Now you can see if you multiply each value one by one, so that is very obvious. It multiply 1 and 0 actually. When you multiply 1 and 0 in each number, corresponding number, the answer would be 0. All will be 0 because it is AND means multiplication. So therefore, the answer is first one because it's AND operation. So I think when you take this bitwise operations, remember we have when you do the bitwise operators, I'll give example here. Now, when you take this bitwise operators, remember we have bitwise AND operation and bitwise operation. Remember we have bitwise AND operation, which is we represent by this notation, and bitwise operation, which is represented by this, and we write exclusive operation, which we represent by this, okay, and or not. And then we have in the syllabus bitwise and or not, and or exclusive or, and then you have the bitwise complement, this notation. And then we have the shift operator. The right shift is this one, left shift is this one. Remember, these bitwise operators are having the low priority with compared to the mathematical operators. This is one thing you should keep in mind. Now, as an example, if you are given, now in this question, what we are given is actually one number is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Other number is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. When you multiply them together, remember, when you multiply together, 1 into 0 is 0. 1 into 0, 0. Then you can see all the answers will be 0. That is how you get the answer 0. But when you are given a question, we must be able to calculate it. Like, if you are given a questions like AND operation, like let's say you are given 10 and 5. If you are given a question like this, then you have to convert this into binary. So 10 means 1, 0, 1, 0 binary. 5 means 1, 0, 1. And take the AND operation, you have to put the 0 here. And AND operation mean basically multiplication. 1 into 0, 0. 1 into 0, 0. 1 into 0, 0, 0. Therefore, here the answer will be 0. If you are given the O operation, 10, O is this notation, 5. So in that case, remember 10 means 1, 0, 1, 0. 5 means 1, 0, 1, and put the 0 here. And then 1 or 0, O operation, 1, 1, 1, 1. That means it is equal to 15. This is how you get the O operation. Exclusive O, if you are given questions 10, exclusive O is this one, like this. In that case, remember 10 means 1, 0, 1, 0. 5 means 1, 0, 1, and here it's 0. Then exclusive O, you need to know the truth table. Remember XO, Boolean expression is A, B bar plus A bar B. Therefore, the truth table, remember, exclusive truth table, if you have A and B, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So exclusive O, remember, you can assign these values to here, then it becomes 0, 1, 1, 0. That's the truth table you can get from this expression. You can assign the values to this expression, you can get this answer, then it becomes this one. So then when you take that, you can see 0, 1. 0, 1 means 1. 0, 1 means 1. 0, 1 means 1. 0, 1 means 1. That means again 15. That is how you get the AND O exclusive O. And this one, complement. Now remember this one is complement. Complement, now let's see if you have the complement 5. Remember it is equal to complement means minus, add the number 1 for this value. That is 5 plus 1 is how much? 6 minus 6. That's the complement value. Just remember how to calculate the complement. And then remember this the shift operator. This one shift operator. Now if you have given a question like 5, 2. What is the meaning of this one? The number 5 you have to shift by 2 bits. 2 bits. 5 means 101. Now you have to shift this one by 2 bits. What happened when you shift by 2 bits? This 2 will be erased. This will be erased. Then the answer becomes how much? 1. Answer becomes 1. And if you are given cases like this, 5 shift to this direction. That means 5 means 101. We need to shift by 2 bits this direction. In that case, we have the 2 zeros to the end. Then you have to convert decimal. That is how we may need to do the calculation. Another thing you should remember, if you are given a cases like this, 5 plus 3 exclusive O 8. If you are given a question like this, remember first we need to do the mathematical operations. Mathematical operations are getting the high priority. These are low priority. All the bitwise operators are low priority. Just keep in mind. So that is how we should answer for that first question. Sorry, second question. Okay, then we go to the third question. Use of public key and private key in encryption and decryption process is called as. Now remember, when you are making the encryption, there are two ways to do the encryption. One is called the symmetric encryption. Other one is called asymmetric encryption. Now, symmetric means encryption and decryption both done by the same key. Asymmetric means there are two keys. Encryption is done by using the public key. Decryption is done by using the private key. So that's the difference you should remember. So now remember, encryption, there are two types of encryption. One is called the symmetric encryption. Other one is called the asymmetric encryption. Now, symmetric encryption means encryption and decryption both done by the same key. Simple example you need to remember for that actually, when you are sending a letter, let's say I want to send a confidential email to someone, where only the receiver should be open and see the content. So in that case, what you do, you can send the email with some document which is password protected. So let's say I want to send a Word document to someone, but it has confidential information. Then what I will do is I can add a password for the file. Then I can put a password and send to another person. So in that case, I have done the encryption using my password. Then the receiver can open it by using the password. Now I send an email through my email where I can send my document, which is password protected. And then separately I call and inform that person, or I can send a WhatsApp message saying that this is the password. So I'm sending the password separately. So in that case, that person will open the file using my password. So in that case, encryption and decryption both done with the same key, using my password. That is the key. So therefore, it is called as symmetric encryption, which has used only one single key. Key means it's a number to make the protections. Encryption, decryption both done by the one key, which is equal as symmetric encryption. The other one is asymmetric encryption. In asymmetric encryption is that when I want to send a message to someone, I should know that person public key because it is publicly available. So I can use that public key and then I can send the message to the other person through, maybe I can send that message by using his public key, but that person can open it at using the private key. Very simple example for this asymmetric encryption is that where we are using the two keys actually. So in that one, what happened, as an example, if you take the way we are sending a letters to someone. So here I have a sender. Here we have a sender. He wants to send a letter to a receiver. In that case, if I want to send a letter to this other person, what should I know? I should know this person public address. If I want to send a letter through post, then I want to know that person address, let's say number 52, like I should know that person address. So this address is a public one. In that case, I am sending a letter since I know that person public address. Then I use that one and write the letter. And when I send this letter, I am sending the letter by using his public key actually. Public key is a public address. But when I send a letter to that person, that letter will come to the letter box. Here there's a letter box. There's a letter box. Then my letter will come to this letter box. Once it's come to the letter box, only this person is able to access to the letter box. He has a separate key to open this one. And he just open and see the letter. So this is actually this we call as this is what we call as actually this we call as asymmetric encryptions. So when the sender send a information or any message, he should use other person's public key and send the message. Once it is sent to the message to the receiver can open it by using his private key. Just remember this example letter box. That's the same concept we have. So that is we call as asymmetric encryption, where we use the two separate keys. So in this case, we are asking use of public key and private key. That means this is actually we have the two keys. We have two keys. So it is we call as asymmetric encryption. Public and private key both are used in encryptions. Encryption done by the public key, decryption done by the private key. So the answer is asymmetric encryption. Third one is 1. And then we come to the question number 4. Question number 4 is in particular network, each node is connected to a central network device. This topology referred to as. We know that we have these 5 topologies. So we have basically star topology. Now topology means network design actually. So star topology. So star topology is actually we have middle device. This middle device can be a hub or switch. And to this device, you can connect the computers like this. Since we can connect the computers like this is we call as star topology. It's just like a star. Then the other one we call as a ring topology. There's a computer which is connected to another computer using a connection. Like we just create a connection just like a ring. Here the message can be sent only one direction. This is the ring topology. Now in this one, the problem is if the middle device, hub or switch is not working, entire network is not working. Here the problem is if the one computer is not working, entire network is not working. That's the problem with ring topology. And then you have the bus topology. Bus topology means there is a main wire or we call as a backbone. And here we can connect the computers like this to the main wire. This is we call as bus topology. Here remember the messages are broadcast. That means message will be sent to every computers like this. So this is we call as bus topology. And then we have the mesh topology. Mesh topology means we connect the computers here and there with whatever the available connections will be there like this. All the connections will be maintained here like this. So we just connect here and there all computers together. So it's just like a mesh. So that is equal as mesh topology, which is a bit complicated. But the advantage is if the one path is damaged, let's say this path is damaged, still these two computers can be connected through another computers. That's the advantage here. Then the other one is called the hybrid or tree topology. Tree topology means multiple topologies can be connected like this. Maybe a bus topology here. Maybe we have the star topology here. Like different topologies can be connected together. So which is we call as mesh topology, tree topology or hybrid topology. So those are the different topologies we have. So then what should be the answer for the given question? We are asking in particular network, each node is connected directly towards central device. Central device means basically star topology. So question 4, answer is 5. Answer is 5. Okay, then we go to the question 5. Consider the following activities related to the e-commerce. E-commerce, we know that buying and selling product and services through online. So we are asking which of the above activities represent the pure click type business model. Now we have a 3 business model: pure click, pure brick, brick and click. Remember, pure click means entire business process is done by computerization. There are no manual tasks. Everything is computerized. There are no any manual tasks. Pure brick means everything is manual. No any computer systems or computerized parts are not there. Most of the old systems are pure brick. Now most of the systems are pure clicked. But there are some organizations, they have the brick and click. That means there are some parts computerized, but there are some parts manual. So those are equal as a brick and click. Now here you are asking which one is pure click. Pure click means everything is manual. Sorry, everything is computerized. No any manual task. Now if you do the first one, online purchase the pair of shoes. Now the purchasing part can be done online, but actually delivering the pair of shoes to the customer should be done through manual tasks. Therefore, you cannot take online purchase of pair of shoes as pure click. It has a click and it has a click and brick, both is there. So the answer is not the A. B, online purchase of the e-book. It's an electronic book. In that case, buying the book can be done online and the book can be sent to the user online. So nothing any manual task. So that is pure click. B is okay. Then C, online booking of the taxi. Now, booking can be done the taxi online, but the taxi should come to the relevant location. Manual task is there. So therefore it is click and click. So the answer is B, 2, second one. Now, the next one is, we know that when the softwares are going to be developed in this DLC, we discuss about the software development. Now, in the software development, we have the different phases. Okay. Initially, we have to, in this DLC, we have to identify the requirements. So based on that, we have to do the analysis of the requirements. So before do the analysis, actually we have to do the feasibility studies. So we have to initially find out the problem. We call as problem definition. Initially we have the problem definition. Under that we have to define what's the problem, what's the solution. Like those we have to define. And then after that actually we won't do that. After you define the problem, the second thing is feasibility studies. We want to check whether the project is feasible. So which is we call as technical feasibility, operational feasibility, legal feasibility, economic feasibility, operational feasibility, time feasibility. Like when the requirements are collected, when the problems are defined, we want to find out this project is feasible. The first one is a technical feasibility. That means whether the project is technically sound or whether the technology we have to develop the project. And again, we have the people with the knowledge with that technology. That is called technical feasibility. We want to find out whether relevant people are available to develop the project. Technical people are available and technical knowledge is available, or that technology is available. Then only you select the project. That is called technical feasibility. Then this operational feasibility. Operational feasibility means once the software is developed, we want to check whether it will be used by the end users. That is called the operational feasibility, whether it is operated by the end users. And the next one is once you identify operation feasibility, we have to look at the economic feasibility. Economic feasibility means whether you get a profit. Whether you get a profit. And then you have to look at whether time feasibility, whether you can complete the project on time. And the legal feasibility, whether the project is not violating any rules in the country. So those things you have to check actually. Okay. Now, if these are okay, then we can start the analysis part. We can analyze the project. After that, you can start the development or coding. After that, you have to do the testing. Now you're asking the testing actually. Now remember, when the systems are going to be tested, we want to do these testings from the order. What is the order we need to do the testing? Remember, a system is always collection of subsystems. If this is a system has subsystem like this. And each subsystem has small units. Small units. So the first thing you have to do the testing of these units. You take each unit and test it. This unit will test it. Now, as an example, this system is for the bank. We are developing the system for the bank. Now, this subsystem is for the loan. And this small unit is for the interest calculation. So this one is for the interest calculation. We want to find out the interest calculation is done by properly. That is unit testing. We want to individually test the units one by one. Normally, it is done by software engineer or software developer or quality assurance engineer. We'll test it. And once you tested these small units, that is called unit testing. Then you have to integrate all of them together because sometimes individually work, but when you integrate together may not work. So then you have to integrate them together and do the testing. So which is we call the integration testing. After you do the integration testing, we want to test the entire system. So the entire system is working properly. That is called the system testing. And finally, we need to ask customer to come in or client to come and test the systems. This is we call as we call this as acceptance testing. So those are the testings we need to do. Unit test and integration testing, and then the system testing, finally acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is done with the client. So just keep in mind. So therefore the answer is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing. That means question 6 answer is 4. Question 6 answer is 4. Okay, question 7. Now the question 7 is, a software development company identifies that their new system development project has complex requirements and has a maximum to high risk level. Further, an evaluation is needed to clear the requirements and significant changes are expected during the system development. What is the most suitable software development process model for this project? Now remember, here we have different models. Okay. We want to find out which one is the most suitable. Now we'll start with the last one, waterfall models. Remember, waterfall models is the model which can be used for very traditional projects. Traditional project means where the requirements are very clear, requirements are not changing, and customer wants to see the project after several years or several months, like that. For that kind of projects, waterfall is good, where the project requirements are very clear and project requirements are not going to be changed with the timing. And customer doesn't want to see the project immediately. He wants to see the project after everything is completed, where everything is well documented. For that kind of project, we can go to the waterfall models. Because in the waterfall models, if any requirements are changed, we need to change everything step by step. Therefore, this waterfall model is not good for a systems where the requirements are changing. And if the customer wants to see the project immediately, this is not good. So definitely for this question, waterfall model is not good. Then the other one is rapid application development model. Remember that can be used for the project. We want to develop the project very fast, very quickly. Let's say there's a project which takes about 1 year to complete. But customer come and tell you he wants the project within 3 months. But actually based on the available resources, we can complete the project within 1 year. But the customer come and say, no, I want to have this project within 3 months. So in that case, we want to allocate more software engineers or developers, and we need to do the parallel development. And you have to use a prototyping model so that we want to show the product to the customer immediately and start the development in parallel and get the customer acceptance to continue. So in that case, we want to develop the different parts rapidly in parallel. So therefore, that model is also not good for this project because this project is very complicated one and there's a high risk of failure. And the prototype models normally that will be used. Prototype means it looks like actual system, but prototype is something you can develop very fast and give it to the customer to give the response. If the customer is unable to explain what he wants, we can use a prototype model and just show it to the customer and get the feedback. Just like when you're developing the large building, we develop the building prototype using the cardboard, so something in the architect can design it and show it to the customer and then get the customer feedback. So that one you can say prototype models. Agile is the model which just like waterfall, but it rotates in cycle where we don't need to have the fully completed the requirements. We can just take the requirements available and start the development and go in a cycle and show it to the customer. If the customer is happy, we can add some more requirements and go in another cycle. If the customer is unhappy, you can change it. So that is we call as agile methodology, which can agile based on the customer requirements. So that is a very good methodology for the software systems where the requirements are changing and customer wants to see the product immediately. Then you can use agile methodology. But in this case, the main emphasis is that it's a very complex requirements-based systems and there's a risk analysis part. Remember the risk analysis is done by only the spiral model. Spiral model also kind of waterfall-like model, but where we have some phases assigned for risk analysis. Therefore, if the project is very complicated and there's a probability of having some failure or there's a risk of failure, remember in that case, we need to go with the method we call as spiral model. Therefore, question 7, answer is fourth one. Spiral model is the one we need to use there because there is a risk of failure. Okay, then we go to the question 8. So in the question 8, which of the following made a significant contribution to the growth of information communication technology? So first one, exponential progress of the semiconductor technology paving the way of low-cost hardware. Yes. Now, because of the semiconductor the industry, actually hardware cost was minimized. Therefore, A is correct. Introduction of the user-friendly software and interfaces to the computers. Yes. That is also significant contributor for the growth of ICT. That is also correct because of user-friendly software. Emerge of computer and communication technologies to produce smart and mobile devices. Yes. That is another thing to spread or make some significant contribution in the ICT. So therefore, all are correct. Answer is fifth one. Then question 9. Which of the following is correct statement to connect to the login.php form from an HTML forms? Now you can see HTML form. There are two things you know define in the form. Now remember the forms are used to collect some data. Like we know that we fill the application form, registration forms, like we use the forms to collect the data. So when you're going to use the form tags in HTML, form tag has a starting and ending tag. Now in the starting tag, remember there are two attributes in the form. What are the two attributes? Action and the method. Action and the method. And this method can be a post, can be a get. Normally we recommend the post method. Why? Because in the get method, the issue is that when you fill the forms, when you click the submit button, your data that you use to fill the forms will be visible in the URL. Therefore, if you fill the forms with your password, the password will be visible in the URL. Therefore, when you are using some confidential information in the forms, it is better to use the post method, not the get method. But only the post method very secure. Only thing is you can't do the bookmarking in the post method. So therefore, here the method should be post. Then you can see obviously 1 and 3 is wrong because method is login.php. That is wrong. That is wrong. So therefore, here question 9. First one is wrong because method is login. Question 3 is wrong because method is login again. And the action is the one which define the action. Therefore, other answers there is no action. Action is only the second now. So therefore, action is the one which define what action to be taken when your user click the submit button. That's action. Now in this case, you have to run the login.php. So that is action. So remember in the form there are two things, action and the method. So therefore the answer is second one. Answer is second one. So the question 10. So which of the following HTML code lines is correct to create the hyperlink to the word department examination using the URL. Now hyperlinks is created by using the tag called as anchor. So then inside this tags, we need to have the department examination. Therefore, first one is wrong because in between the A starting and the ending, we have the hyperlink. That is wrong. Second one, and again remember you need to have the href, hyperreference. Hyperreference is the one where you need to have the URL. Then you can see fourth and fifth are wrong because it has src. Src used in the image. When you're going to add the image, use src. Therefore, fourth answer and fifth answer is wrong. And href should be the URL. Therefore, first one is wrong. And ALT not come in here because ALT come in the images. If the image is unable to display, under alternative you can use a text. In that case, if the image is unable to display, the text will be displayed. So therefore, answer is second one. Question 10, answer must be second one. Okay, question 11, what should be the answer? Can you check? Okay, question 11. On a single processor computer, a user starts a spreadsheet application and creates a new spreadsheet. And to get some information required for the spreadsheet, he opens a large database using his database manager systems. After completing his spreadsheet, he saves it. Which of the following operating system feature have been used by the above user? Context switching. Yes, context switching should be used. Why? Because context switch means now here it says that we initially run the spreadsheets. And the middle of that, what he will do is he open a large database. That means you want to go from spreadsheet to database. That means when you have to switch from spreadsheets to a database. So therefore, in that case, in that case, you need to do the context switching. Context switch means when the CPU switch from one task to another task, the first task context should be saved in the PCB. That means first process information. Information means process ID, program counter, register content, memory management information, file allocation details, IO device details should be saved in a data structure called as a PCB. And to start another process, that process details should be loaded from the PCB. PCB means process control block. So this task is called the context switching. Yes, context switching should be done. Then the file management also necessary because to get some information required for the spreadsheet, he opens a large database. In that case, you need to have another file management also necessary. And then he's opening a large database. To open up a large database, you have to use a virtual memory. Because the virtual memory, remember the main advantage, you can run very large program, even it is larger than your machine's memory. Let's say your computer has only 4 GB, you can run the 8 GB application because of the virtual memory. Now here it says that we are opening a large database. So in that case, virtual memory is necessary. Therefore, answer is 5. All are necessary. Then we go to the question number 12. Smart environment can be created by having interconnected network of hardware devices, sensors, connectivity, and required software, which is often referred to as IoT, Internet of Things. So, which of the following statement is correct about the IoT? Now, IoT means basically we should be able to connect with different devices like sensors through online or through the internet. Like, these days you can access to your home CCTV system through mobile phone. Or you can switch on and switch off some of the bulbs in your home through your mobile phone. Like you can access to some microcontrollers or some sensors through your mobile phone. That means through the internet. So those are equal as Internet of Things. Now the first one you're asking which is correct. Every IoT device or item must be connected using UTP cables. No, because some instance you connect without cable. It should be wireless communication. So that is wrong. If any item of the IoT setup fails to operate, the entire IoT setup will be shut down. No, that is if the one sensor is not working, it doesn't matter. Other sensors are working. You can work with the IoT environment. Second one is wrong. IoT environment cannot be monitored and controlled remotely. No, IoT, the main concept is remote operations. Therefore, third one is wrong. Modern smart mobile phones cannot be connected to the IoT. No, IoT means connecting any device, maybe a sensor, maybe a mobile phone, any small devices should be able to connect to online. Fourth one is wrong. The internet connectivity is not essential for an IoT setup to function. Yes, we must be able to make some communication without these internet connections actually. So therefore, answer is fifth one. It's not essential actually to connect the IoT. There can be other ways to make the communication. Then we come to the question number 13. So question number 13, which of the following indicates the non-functional requirements? Now remember, when the systems are going to be developed, you have to collect the requirements. Now, when you collect these requirements, remember, these requirements we categorize into two, functional requirements and the non-functional requirements. So functional requirements means the things that are done by the computer or your application, we call the functional requirements. Non-functional requirements basically usability, reliability, security, maintainability, availability, like those. Maybe related to the speed, maybe related to the accuracy, maybe related to the usability. So like always keep in mind usability, reliability, maintainability, security, availability, like those are related to the non-functional requirements. They are requirements but not functions done by the systems. So you're asking which is non-functional requirements. Okay, first one, a user shall be allowed to upload an image. Now remember, upload an image is a function done by the systems. Therefore, A is a functional requirements. B, the correct invoice value should be calculated. Now, calculating is a kind of functions done by the systems. Therefore, B is also functional requirement. The system must satisfy 95% availability. Like I told you, availability, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, like all these are non-functional requirements. So here the answer is C, third one. Okay, then we come to the question number 14. So in this question, you're asking, consider the process transition diagram in the figure. If the transition sources are as follows. Now, you need to have the good understanding about this work actually. So we have the state transition diagram. Now you should have understanding about the state transition diagram. We discussed this one before. I just quickly explain this one again. Now the software label, this process state transition diagram is that one which represents the lifetime of the process. Now initially you run the application. When you run the application, it creates a process. So it goes to state what we call the new. New means you just click on the icon. When you just click on the icon, what happens? It won't be run immediately. When you click on the icon, that will save the notification for the OS. OS needs to go to the hard disk and get the file and load the file to the memory. We want to find a pre-location and load the file to the memory, and then wait in a queue. We have a ready queue. From there, it will be selected for the execution, and then only start the executions. So initially in the new state, until the environment is prepared, is a new state. Then after that, when the program is ready for the execution, that means the program will go to the queue we call as a ready queue. Then state is what is state? Ready state. Ready state means program is ready, but waiting in the queue. That queue is called the ready queue, which is in the memory. Then from the ready queue, ready means program is ready. From the ready queue, you can select the process to execute by the scheduler called as short-term scheduler or CPU scheduler. And once you select the program to run, that will go to the state we call as running state. And then once it is executed, it will be exited, then it goes to state we call as a terminated. And some instance, while the program is running, some interrupts can be occurred. When the interrupt is occurred, it will come back to the ready state again when the interrupt is occurred. And remember, these programs are not always running. This program wants to read something from the IO devices. Then it will go to the state we call as a waiting state. And once IO is completed, then it goes back to ready queue again to get the CPU time in again. So this is the site graph, the state transition diagram actually. Then you understand this one and map it into the given question. Then you can see here we have the two things actually, second one and third one. That should be basically because of the process electrical execution, and again interrupt has occurred. So then you can see initially it should be in state D is the start one actually. So then basically, sorry. So we asking what is A, B, C states actually. So then how do you find the states for A, B, C? Then basically you can see that B means something where its process is waiting actually, or what we call the blocked waiting. B should be waiting. C should be running. C should be running. Sorry, A should be running, and then it will be blocked for wait. Then B should be blocked for wait. C should be ready. C should be ready. From there, you select the process to execute. Then A should be running. While it is running, it come back to the waiting state. So therefore, answer should be fourth one. C should be running. A should be sorry. C should be waiting. Sorry, C should be ready. A should be running. B should be blocked for waiting. Answer is fourth one. In the next question, we are asking what is the normal form. Now remember, when you take a table, we have this normal forms. We call table is zeroth normal form. If you take a one cell has more values. In that case, we call that as a, if you can remember, we discussed this one. When you take the table, when you take a one cell, if the one cell has more values, like let's say this cell has ICT and science and commerce, like this. So if you take a one cell, if the one cell has more values, not only single value, multiple values, then we call your table is zeroth normal form. Zeroth normal form. Then it will be first normal form if you have separate single value in each cell. Here is ICT, here is science, like that. We have single values inside it. So if you have a single value inside it, we call that as a zeroth normal form if it is multiple values are there in a cell. If you have single value, it is called as a first normal form. First normal form. Then remember the second normal form comes. So there is a one thing you have to identify the second normal form. We can identify a table as second normal form if it is not having the partial dependency. Partial dependency. What is mean by partial dependency? When you take a table, so table has composite primary key like this. Let's say this table, here we have the, let's say, ID number of the person and department number and the department name like this. Now the primary keys both are together. These two are together is a primary key. That means a composite primary key. The primary key is not only the ID and department number, both together is a primary key. So then what is mean by the partial dependency? When you have a composite primary key, if there's an attribute which can be detected using part of the primary key, not the entire primary key, then we call partial dependency. Now as an example, here department name will depend on the department number. That does not depend on the ID. So department name will depend on the department number, not depends on the this part. But here primary key is both together. But the department name will depend on this one. This is equal as a partial dependency. This is equal as a partial dependency. So then remember, if a table has partial dependency, then we call it is not in the second normal form. Second normal form. And the other one is a third normal form. Third normal form, I told you, transitive dependency. Transitive dependency means from the A, you can find the B. From the B, you can find the C. If you get something like this, we call it as a transitive dependency. As an example, in your table, we have the ID and the name and the address and the teacher ID and the teacher name. Now here the primary key is ID. Primary key is ID. So if the primary key is ID, from the ID you can find the teacher ID. For the teacher ID you can find the teacher name. That is this one. A implies B, B implies C. If you have something like that, we call as a transitive dependency. So those are the way you have to find out whether the table is in the third normal form. Now let's see the question. So in this table, actually, student ID is not the primary key because student ID is repeating. 10012 is repeating, so it's not the primary key. Event ID S02 is repeating. So therefore, here the primary key is student ID and the event ID both together. Then you can see composite primary key is student ID and the event ID both together. But event name will depends on the event ID. So that means event name will not depend on the both student ID and event ID. There is a partial dependency. Therefore, since this one has a partial dependency, the table is not in the second normal form. So table is in the first normal form. So that should be the answer for this question. Okay, question 16. Consider the following statement regarding the above table. It has a composite primary key. Yes, that is obvious. It has a composite. Event name attribute is fully dependent. No, event name is partially dependent. B is wrong. Event ID is a candidate key. No, event ID is a part of the primary key. So therefore, A only. First part. Question 16, answer is A only. Okay, question 17. It is required to add a new field called age to the student sports table. And value of the new field must be greater than 10. Which one of the following, which is the correct SQL statement to implement this requirement? So what we will do is, we won't add the new field. That means we won't add the new column as age to the student sport tables. That means you have to make some change to the table. That means this should be alter actually. Alter. So we want to change the alter table name. Alter table. Basically, it is required as the new field called age to the student table. And the value of the new field must be greater than 10. So alter table names. Then fourth and fifth one is wrong. Alter table name is student sport. Yeah, student underscore sport. Alter table name add. I think this question has error because it should be add column. So therefore this one actually gave the answers for all. This has an error. Then which of the following SQL command is not available in the data manipulation language? Now we know that when you take this SQL commands, we can categorize them into DDL, data definition, DML, data manipulations. DDL is to create the database and make some changes to the content or structure. And after that, once you create the database, you have to insert the data, get some information from the columns, the database. Like those can be done in the data manipulation. Delete some data can be done in data manipulations. Therefore, here the answer is you're asking is not available data manipulation. That means we are asking what is the data definition. So I think it is very obvious. Data definition is a create, alter, like those are in the definition. Delete, insert, select, update. Those are data manipulation. That means after you create a data, once you insert the data, you have to delete them. To insert the data, you have to insert command. To display something, you have to select command. To update some data inside the data table, you have to use update command. But if you want to change the structure of the table, or add some column, or delete some column, or add some primary key, delete some primary key, those are done in the alter table. Alter. So create, alter, like those are actually in the drop, create, drop, and alter in the data definition. Delete, insert, select, update are data manipulations. So the answer is first one. Then question number 19. We are given the memory hierarchy. So then we know that topmost one, A, which is very small and very fast. That's the hierarchy. A is the very smallest one and very fast. That is the processor registers. Therefore, first one is wrong, fifth one is wrong because it should be processor registers. After the cache, processor register, then the B should be after the cache is random access memory. And then magnet tapes are a bit slow actually. So therefore, question 19 should be 3. Processor registers, random access memory, hard disk, and magnet tapes. Tapes are slow. Then which of the following represent the results of the binary arithmetic operations? Now, I think we are given 1 1 0 0 1 1 0. From we have to subtract 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. So let's see how to make the calculation. We are given 1 1 0 0. So we are given 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0. Then you have to subtract the value. You have to subtract the value 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Yes. You have to subtract the value 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. You have to subtract. Now you can't subtract 1 from the 0, you have to take this one. When you get this one, you get 2 here, then this one no longer available. From this 2 you get 1, then this will be 2, this will be 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 0, 1, here nothing. So you can take this one, then become 2. This is no longer available, 2 minus 1 is 1. And here nothing, 0 minus 1 is 0. And then you have to take this one, then you get 2, this is no longer available. From that 2 you take 1, this will be 2, this will be 1. 2 minus 1, 1, here 1, here nothing. So you take this one, then you get 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 0. Therefore it is 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So the answer is 1, 1, 1, 0, 1 is third one. Third one. Answer is third one. Question number 20 should be 3. Question number 21. Which of the following statement is correct about the 2's complement? 2's complement subtraction carried out as addition. Yes. Remember, in the complement method, we do the subtraction as addition. That is correct. Calculations are more efficient. Yes. That is why I use this one in modern computers. Very fast calculation. It is possible to represent the negative numbers within the 2's complement. Yes. Remember, we use the 2's complement only for the negative numbers. It is possible to represent the negative numbers in the 2's complement. Yes. All are correct. Then question number 22. Which of the following statement correctly describe the hackers? 22. So what is the answer? They are bored and lonely antisocial teenagers who attacks computer systems as a challenge and sometimes for profits. So they are bored and lonely antisocial teenagers who attacks computer systems as a challenge and sometimes for profit. Yes, that is correct. They are IT skilled people who attack computer systems or individuals or business as a form of competitions. Yes, that's also possible. They are organized crime group that deploy highly automated and sometimes highly targeted attacks against the computer systems of individuals or business for the certain benefit. Yes, all are correct. Question 23. Which is the most suitable HTML form element input type in which the user can enter the credit card's secret numbers? So I think it is very obvious. We need to use because we want to use the password thing. Yeah, it is hidden actually. So the answer is O, password. That's input type you can use. Question 24. Consider the following statement regarding the extended entity relationship models. So extended ER model includes all the concepts of the original ER model. Yes, all concepts should be there actually. In the ER, all the concepts in the original ER should be there. ER model has additional concept of specializing generally. Yes, in the ER actually what we need to introduce the specialization and generalization. That is a ESA hierarchy. So A and B. ER model includes a new concept to model the weak entity. No, that's all. A and B only. 24. Then question number 25. We are asking which of the following are properties of the signal. So property of the signal, amplitude, clock time we don't take actually. First one is wrong. Clock time we don't take. And impulse we don't take. Fifth one is wrong. Impulse we don't take. Amplitude frequency definitely should be there. Amplitude frequency. Time we don't take actually. Pace will take. So we take the amplitude, frequency, pace, and wavelength. So the answer is third one. So we have discussed 25 questions. What I will do is next week I will discuss the next 25 questions. You can just try out them before come to the next class. So then this Saturday, Sunday we have the class. Please be available. I will discuss some more classes and again join to the revision classes both in Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday I'm discussing the operating system. Thursday I'm discussing the operating system. Tuesday I'm discussing the HTML, CSS, PHP. Please join to those classes. Thank you.